The final artifact for my portfolio under Standard 3 Information and Knowledge is the Bloom's Meets Digital Media Glyphy. And you're probably thinking, what in the world is that? So while that's uploading, let me give you a little background on what it was that I created. For my EdTech 5613 course in the summer of 2014, I was tasked with kind of creating my own project, and it was our final project for the semester. The goal was to create a resource that enhanced digital curriculum for years to come. I began the project by re-examining the Bloom's taxonomy for higher level thinking. Bloom's lists 6 stages of higher level thinking. Those six levels are remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating. So I'm looking at these, I'm thinking about these, and I began to wonder, were there digital tools that teachers could use in the classroom to facilitate this higher level thinking? Was there a way to bridge curriculum content, digital media, and higher level thinking in the classroom? And within each stage of Bloom's, there are a number of skills identified that will promote higher level thinking. So if we come over here and look at creating, for example. If we come and we look at creating, we have these things: programming, animating, mixing, filming, wikiing, blog, publishing, video podcasting, etc. So these are all different skills. If kids are doing that, then they're working at this higher level skill known as creating. And so for each of these Blooms, there are a number of skills that I identified, and then I used a variety of resources, including teacher recommendation, personal experience, library review journals, to locate the best digital media tools for each skill presented. Some of them have 2. I think the majority of them all have 2. That was my goal. But some of them, like publishing here, has 3. Publishing has 3. But they all have, my goal was to find at least 2 that would meet the needs of each of these. And I put them into a Glyphy. So after I located the tools to meet the skills, I turned it into I turned all this data into an online poster using the tool Glyphy. This poster linked the skills with the tools, and the goal was that this project would allow teachers to quickly access the Glyphy, find a skill they wanted to work on in the classroom, and then click on the link to take them to the appropriate tool. So if I'm a teacher and I want to find the perfect tool to work on, for searching, I might come over here and click on Google. Or if I want to find something that helps me animate or make comments, I can click on one of these links, and it will, and it will take me directly to a website that would allow my students, to work on this. So I clicked on, I was looking at categorizing. I clicked on Pocket, and now here it takes the teacher. She can sign up here. She can sign up and start using. So the goal of this entire project was to create something that teachers could come back to for years to come and match Bloom's Bloom's taxonomy, critical thinking levels with some digital media tools. So I believe that this standard relates to Standard 3, specifically Content Standards 3.1 and 3.3. Standard 3 requires the library media specialist to demonstrate knowledge of a variety of information sources and services that support the needs of the diverse learning community. When creating the Glyphy, I first had to identify a variety of needs faced by students today. Those skills were Bloom's taxonomy. I then needed to locate specific tools that would support these needs faced by the diverse learning community. So Flickr, Tumblr, Glyphy, all of these different programs. Those are the tools. So 3.1, efficient and ethical information seeking behavior. As I started this project, I sought ways to support the individual needs of all students. Students think differently. I wanted to find tools that allowed these students who are thinking in critical ways to kind of be able to use technology and help them think in critical ways. So I, excuse me, I first located some digital media tools that I thought were neat, that I thought were cool, that I thought, hey, this might be fun for kids. So I found them. Then I evaluated them and to determine, are these reliable, helpful, beneficial to the kids? Are these really forcing the kids to think critically? And so after I evaluated them, after I located them and evaluated them, then I turned them into this poster. And as a teacher or librarian, the digital media tools presented can be adapted to facilitate the students' research, learning, creating, and communicating, in a digital society. Now, how has this helped me as an educator? I use this all the time. I have this poster saved onto my computer for easy on my Google account to easily just pull it up. Right? We use Google, we use Blooms all the time. On my lesson plan that's given to me by Tulsa Public Schools, there's a specific section that asks me to list the Bloom's level, taxonomy, critical thinking skills that I'm working on. So I've been using Blooms for years, but this document that I created last summer helps me bridge technology, helps me bridge the 21st century skills, and it shows me that critical thinking doesn't just have to happen in the classroom. It can happen online. It can happen in their homes. We can extend the learning to places beyond our normal reach in the four walls of my classroom. And this tool allows me to extend that critical thinking outside of the classroom into their own learning communities, with their families, just everywhere. This really helped me expand my critical thinking. It helped me facilitate better thinking in my classroom. And I use it all the time. Now, what would I change? If I were to do this again, would I change anything? Yeah, I would. I made this and I shared it with people who can come in and use it. But I was the owner. I am the editor. I am the creator. I should have made a way for other people to come in and add, because, tools change. They become out of date. They don't work anymore. There's something better. And so I'm the only one that can change that. So I think if I were to use this again, I would want to make this more of a living document. And I would want to collaborate with people so that I wasn't the only one that was looking at this every day. So that, when my colleague finds this really cool tool that allows you to make a video into a comic strip or something, they could come in and add it, and they don't have to tell me, and then I come in and add it so I remember about it. I really would like to turn this into a living document, and so that other teachers come in, comment, add to it. There is more than two. There's more than two options right here for mixing and remixing. What are they? What is the newest thing? I made this last summer. I'm sure there's more. So that would be the one thing I would change, is that I would go back and turn this into a living document and collaborate with people and ask other people to, get on board with this and help me find other things. And let's keep adding to it, and let's make this a growing resource so that when one thing becomes obsolete, the next greatest thing we can put on here and we can use it and we can help our students. That's the only thing I would change about this project, because I really love this idea of bridging critical thinking with digital media tools. So that is all of my standard 3 artifacts, which takes us to standard 4. Standard 4, advocacy and leadership. Now, while that thinks, here we go. Standard 4, advocacy and leadership. I've got 3 artifacts that I think promote my understanding of advocacy and leadership. And so we're going to start with the PR library plan. Now, the PR library plan I created, this was probably the most recent document that I have created. It was at the very end of my library science 5823 course in the spring of 2015. It was towards the end of the semester. It was the last assignment that we completed. Excuse me. And what we were asked to do is running a school library can be a daunting task. How do I connect with the public library? Can I get my parents and community members involved? Can I make an impact on student learning? These are all questions that every school librarian must face when designing the school library plan, school activity plan. And so I was given the task of creating the 3 library activities per month. And these activities needed to showcase the library's program to the students, staff, and community. So I began by listing the month students are in school, and then listing the things that I know have to happen, right? The first month of school, we need to have a library orientation. So I added those things in first. And then I went to the American Library Association and Educational World to locate like library specific special dates. Things like Hispanic Awareness Month or Teen Technology Week. And so each month there are so many different things that happen that can be showcased in the library. And so I used these to be the muse for some activities in my library. And so once I had these kind of ideas in my head, then I had to turn it into some kind of collaborative assignment, maybe a co-teaching thing, or a parent back to school night, parent literacy night, getting people into the library. But each month I have 3 activities occurring in the library that either bring students, teachers, community members, or parents into the library to showcase the learning that's happening at my school. And I made this plan for East Central Junior High because that's where I currently work. Now,